name is Nurwisah, and I am from HuffPost Canada. My role there is I'm a senior editor in audience development.
So what does audience development mean?
It's social media strategy. It's growing our audiences through other platforms like email newsletters, push alerts, SEO to an extent. It's like all those things and more.
So can you give a brief overview of your career and how you came to work at Huffington Post?
Yeah, sure. So I started as a student journalist at the UBC student newspaper, UBC, which is where I graduated, and then worked at the National Post for about 4 years as an online producer and as a copy editor. And then I went over to HuffPost Canada about 7 years ago, and there I've done a little bit of everything from online producing, front page management, and social media strategy and audience development, which is what I do now.
Could you give an overview of what the social media strategy is for Huffington Post?
Being excellent at Facebook, at Twitter, and a few other social media platforms. And by excellent, I mean like actually, having an authentic voice on there, as opposed to just like blasting out headlines. And also trying to grow some engagement with our readers and trying to build a little bit more loyalty to our brand on those platforms.
If you're a relatively new student publication or you're just starting out, should you be building your social media presence as you're building the actual framework of the publication, or should you try and establish your publication first and then build your social media?
Social media can really feed into an actual print publication and vice versa. So I don't think it's a bad idea for you to kind of have those two things growing at the same time and supporting each other.
So what tips do you have for high school students who are looking to promote the brand of their publication and also engage their audience?
I think you can use it as an engagement tool. I think that's probably the single best thing. You can use it to not just reach your readers, but also like listen to what they have to tell you. And I think that's actually probably the most useful thing of it. I think it's really figuring out what platforms your audience is in or what they're using. If you look around at your student body and your readers, and you notice that they're not on Facebook, is it really a good idea to spend all that time on Facebook? If you notice that they really love a particular platform, if you notice that all your friends are using Instagram stories, maybe that's where your student publication should be as well.
What do you do to adapt your content to fit the platform?
You really have to know the platform. I think, for example, if you know that Instagram stories are of a certain length or how they're structured, you've got the little fork tap to go forward, you will structure your stories that way. So if you, for example, wrote a 400-word story about the high school basketball team, that might not work in the same format. But is there a way for you to take that and reformat it to be an Instagram story or reformat it to be a Facebook post?
If you're a student who's interested in pursuing a career in social media-oriented journalism, what advice do you have as to how one might pursue that path?
Be flexible. Platforms rise and fall fairly easily, but if you're flexible and you're willing to experiment, and you're willing to kind of take a flyer and try out a new thing for 6 months, I think that keeps you sharp.
Do you have any other advice for students or anything you'd like to add?
I'd say if you can take anything away, I would go and find 5 or 6 accounts that you really, really love and follow them, and also really look at what they're doing. Don't just follow them and say, okay, I'm done, I followed the New Yorker or the Globe and Mail. Really take a look, a long, hard look at what they do and why those things are effective, and see if you can learn anything from that. I think that's kind of the best way to learn, is to kind of look at the work of people that you love and people you respect, and really try to take something away from